Welcome to this week's Tickling Tuesday. So sorry there was no Tickling Tuesday last week. I just had so much to do with the new release. If you have not seen our release video, which shows all of the products that will be released on Friday, please check out the link that I put in the box in the top corner. This is one of the stamp sets that will be released. This is the Cool Body stamp set, and this is one of the stencil sets that will be released called Winter Day. I am creating a card with some stenciling and some stamping today. The first thing I did was I used some washi tape to mask off a frame around the card that will stay white, because I wanted a white frame around the image. Then I took this stencil from the Winter Day stencil set, because there are some beautiful snowflakes in there and I want to clear emboss them, because we will be doing some emboss resist. So this is why I prepped the paper first with my EK Success powder tool that prevents from any static cling for the embossing powder. And then I just used my Versamark ink and made sure that I did not touch the area where the snowbank was, but just the snowflakes. I could also have used some washi tape to mask that off, but I just eyeballed that and it really worked well, because it's pretty easy to get the ink pad where I wanted that to be. Then I used some Wow Clear Gloss Super Fine or Ultra Fine embossing powder for my emboss resist, and I melted that with my heat gun, and I had quite a few beautiful snowflakes, but I wanted even more, so I did another, I repeated the process where I inked up the snowflakes with my Versamark ink. So I did that again to have even more snowflakes. And I had some powder sticking where I had not masked off carefully enough, so I just used a dry paintbrush to get rid of all the powder that was sticking where I did not want it. Then I used the other stencil from the same set, which has a nice snow scene with some trees and some snowmen, and I wanted to use the emboss resist technique on that also. So I just inked that up very well, and you can see there's this strip at the bottom of the stencil, so I used my Versamark ink pad to also ink up that portion, because I did not want any line there and I wanted the bottom portion to be a little wider than the stencil was. So this is how you can get more out of your stencils, and you can see all the glossy shine. I think this Wow embossing powder is just the best ever. And then I took out some distress inks, and I'm starting with Evergreen Bough, because I think Evergreen Bough and some blue and gray shades are perfect for a winter sky, and I love this greenish aqua teal color from Evergreen Bough so much. Then I used some Broken China, but I decided that this was not dark enough because I wanted to create kind of a night sky. So I also used some Stormy Sky next to darken that a little bit. And the last color that I used was some Ice Spruce, because I think that a little bit of gray really makes this look very cold, like a really cold wintry day. And it makes the blue even a little bit darker. So that was why I used the Ice Spruce. I think this is my favorite color combo for any night skies or winter skies. Then I carefully removed the washi tape and I made sure to really carefully pull that off. But if you have complications, like you have the feeling that your paper will tear, just heat the washi with your heat gun a little bit until it's warm, and then you can easily take it off without any issues. I had some ink on my fingers and I spread that onto the cardstock, so I gently scratched that off with an X-Acto knife, and then I smoothed out the paper with some sandpaper, very, very smooth sandpaper, like 1000 grain. And I had the images from the stamp set all stamped out because I wanted to try my Pick Scan Mat for the silhouette, and it turned out that this really works very well if I use offset. So these are the ones that I cut off with my silhouette. Please tell me, have any of you do you use a Pick Scan Mat, or do you plan to use a Pick Scan Mat? Because I was thinking about having some cutting files, and I thought so many people have a Pick Scan Mat right now that it does not it's not worth all the effort because it's so easy to cut out your images, stamp them, cut them out because the pigskin mat sees where it is. Okay, as you can see, I colored that, sorry for all the talking, with some gray and yellow shades and also with some orange for the beak. But this was just some pretty simple coloring with C7, C5, C3, Y11, Y13, I think. And then I used some dimension adhesive to put the penguins onto my card, and I doubled up the adhesive for the little penguin to make it pop a little more than the big one, so it's in front. And then I took the speech bubble from the Penguin Party stamp set because it has just the perfect size for the Cool But Happy stamp from the Cool Buddy stamp set. I pressed a little too hard on one side. I have to be careful. These are high quality stamps, but I just pressed too hard, so this might happen. I just stamped that again, and then I took the Cool But Happy stamp from the Cool Buddies and made that go into the speech bubble because I thought having some talkative penguins would be quite cool. I then used my scissors to cut that out just because this is such an easy shape and it's easier and quicker to do it by hand than making a photo, sending it to the computer, and then having the silhouette cut that out. I just stamped a few or a bunch of images when I used the silhouette just to try it out. And as I said, I'm quite happy how this turned out. Okay, so this finished the card for today. I hope you got inspired and you're just as excited about the new products as we are. Thanks so much for watching.